Okay. What on earth is going on here? I need to get that thing to move. Okay. Sorry, computer's being weird. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the review guide. So this first part, we are converting to decimal form. So we have 6/9. So first I'm going to reduce it. 6 divided by, so that gives me 2/3. Now you might know that 2/3 reduces to 0.6 repeating. If not, then go ahead and just do the division. 3 does not go into 2, but 3 goes into 26 times, and that gives you 18, which gives you a remainder of 2. And you find that as you continue to go through, you continue to get 6 repeating. And so that is your final answer for the first one. 4/5 also is sort of a memorized one. And so that one okay. All right, so for this one, just to make sure that you get the right answer, 5 divides into 4 at a decimal. And so 5 goes into 48 times. And when you do the math, you find that you have no remainder. So this one is a terminating decimal at 0.8. Now, if you have negative, the negative just goes to your answer bar. You can ignore that. And you have 5/8. So 5/8 actually converts to, I think it's 0.625, but those I kind of forget sometimes. So go ahead and do the division, put in the 5, add a couple of zeros. 8 goes into 56 times, and you get 48, which gives you a remainder of 2. Bring down your 0. 8 goes into 22 times, so it is 625, or 0.625. So that becomes 16. You get a remainder of 4, and 8 goes into 45 times. So negative 0.625 is the fraction, or is the decimal form of that fraction. All right, so again, with this one, the negative 11 is already a whole number. So just add that to your answer bar. The only part you really have to turn into a decimal is anything less than 1. So you have your 7/8. Now 7/8 becomes 8.75, but we'll do the math, just make sure that we're right. So 8 goes into 7, none. 8 goes into 78 times, that becomes 64, which leaves a remainder of 6. So we bring that down, and you have 7. 7 times 8 is 56, with a remainder of 4, and there's your 5. 8 times 5 is 40. So it's negative 11.875. All right, going in the other direction, we want to convert these decimals to rational numbers. So we're converting them to fraction form. You do, in this case, because a rational number, you wouldn't have a mixed number. So you're going to keep it as an improper fraction because this is greater than 1. So you always look at the decimal. Whoops. I'll get stuff out of the way here. Always look at the decimal and the place value of the last decimal when it's terminating like this, that's your denominator. So because the 5 is in the hundredths place, that means that as a fraction, 100 is your denominator. And so you have the 265 on top. I divide both of these by 5, and I get 20 in the denominator. 5 goes into 26 5 times, carry your 1. So 53 over 20, and that's as far as we can reduce it. Now, this 0.18 repeating, we have to use a different way to get rid of repeating. So first you set the value of x as 0.18 repeating, and then you write a second equation. Because that 8, that last repeating number, is in the hundredths place, you need to multiply both sides times 100, and that gives you 100x equals 18.18 repeating. And then you subtract your first equation from the second. 100, this is understood coefficient of 1. So that's 100 minus 1x. So that becomes 99x equals 18. And then you can isolate the variable by dividing by 99, and you get x equals 18 over 99. You can reduce these, both of these reduce by 9, and so we end up with 2/11. So our final answer is 2/11. This one was 53 over 20. All right. The other two, we have terminating decimals. But again, these are just kind of to teach you to be careful to always look at that last place value. So our numerator is just the number that's given, the number after the decimal. So that's 25. However, because that 5 is in the thousandths place, our denominator must be 1,000. And both of these reduce by 25. We end up with 1/40. That's our final answer for that one. And then this last one, again, that 1 is in the 10,000ths place. So our numerator is 31, our denominator is 10,000. And 31 is prime and it does not go into 10,000, so we just leave it like that is, like it is. Okay, moving on to the word problems from section 5.4, I believe. So here's where we talk about ratio and rate. So these first two have to do with unit rate. So remember, with unit rate, you want to set your denominator to 1. So it's asking, what is the truck's fuel efficiency if it can travel 580 miles on 29 gallons of gas? So we talk about fuel efficiency in terms of miles per gallon. So you're going to have miles over gallons, which means 580 over 29. And we want our denominator to be 1. So we're just going to divide both of these by 29. And it goes evenly, 580. So 29 goes to 58 2 times. 18, carry my 1, 5. So that's 0, and 29 goes into 0 0 times. So that means that 20 miles per gallon is our fuel efficiency. All right, so for 10, how fast must Margot type to achieve 765 words in 9 minutes? Again, words typing speed is done in terms of words per minute. So words over minutes, these are pretty easy, but if you're ever not sure, try to write it down and just see if it makes sense. 765 over 9. So again, we're dividing both by 9 so that we can get 1 in our denominator. 765 divided by 9. 9 goes into 76 8 times. That gives me 72. And it goes into 45 5 times. So 85 words per minute. Don't ever forget your units whenever you do word problems. You want to keep that WPM on the end. All right, in this case, we have more of the ratio questions. Keith noticed that among the 28 kids in his new youth group, only 7 were boys. What is the ratio of boys to girls in his youth group? Okay, so we're asked to find the ratio boys to girls. I always start with it in fraction form in case I can reduce. And in this case, he didn't explicitly tell us how many girls that we have, but we know that we have 28 total kids. We have 7 boys. And so the girls is the difference between the two. So we have 21 girls. So this is 7 over 21, which we can reduce to 1/3. So that means there's 1 boy. Whoa. 1 boy to every 3 girls. 3 girls. So 1 to 3. All right, the last one we have here, a school has 2,600 students and 104 teachers. What is the student to teacher ratio? In this one, there's no first step. They've given us everything that we need. Just make sure you've got student to teacher. That means 2,600 over 104. I'm gonna see if that goes evenly into it. 104, 2,600. So that goes twice, gives me 208. So that's a 52. All right, so 100 goes into 5, 500 5 times. A 4 goes into 25, so 5. Times 4 is 20, and then, yep. All right, so that means that there is 25 students to every 1 teacher. So 25 to 1 teacher. And we're done. All right, and that covers everything that you're going to see on the quiz. There is an extra credit question about using repeating decimals, listing repeating decimals in ascending order. So if you're not really sure, you can check that. I didn't include anything on here, but that's your review guide, and we will be taking the quiz tomorrow. Thank you very much.